ape. These forms would get a lot more streamlined as the series would continue, and they would be given out to all sorts of characters. In the beginning, it was Goku, and in the end, it still is. Throughout most of the original series, there wasn't a whole lot of forms outside the Ozaru, and that's mainly because it was set on Earth. I guess to keep a little bit of realism, the original series relied a lot more on martial arts abilities instead of power and new forms. This all changes when they go into outer space, specifically Planet Namek. The amount of different races that were there at the same time. Zarbon even had this transformation that just made him look like a frog. The main guy on Namek though, who had all the forms, was Frieza. This is where a lot of it started, and prior to this, no one had this many forms up their sleeve. Obviously there is his first, second and third form. These are all just suppressed versions of his true form, which is how basically everyone knows Frieza. All of Frieza's forms are very unique because he never actually created any stronger and more powerful versions of himself. He was born into his true form, never training a day in his life, and everything else was to make him suppress his power so he wouldn't kill everything on sight. Frieza is the only guy who actually had to make weaker versions of himself. The only time Frieza gains any new power through transformation is when he creates his golden shell, heavily inspired by his fight with Goku. Goku and basically any Saiyan in the modern day will have access to Super Saiyan. If they don't, they shouldn't even be considered a Saiyan. It was really impressive when it first happened, but if someone in Super pulls up with just a base Super Saiyan transformation, it's really not anything at all. Some Saiyans like Gohan, Vegeta and Goku have found ways to push Super Saiyan to its limit, and that's where the forms like Super Saiyan 2 and 3 come from. Even still though, these forms are rapidly getting left behind, and if you're a Saiyan, you've got to be looking into becoming a god. The god forms are very strong. They can actually be attained by any race through the use of an ancient ritual or training with an angel. Goku and Vegeta are the only mortals in Universe 7 with God energy flowing through them. It has made their previous Super Saiyan form and every mutation of it extremely average in comparison. Right now, Super Saiyan Blue is the strongest transformation that is unique to a Saiyan. Techniques like the Kaioken and Ultra Instinct could also be considered, however, they can be used by anyone else as well and are also stackable. Many times Goku has stacked Kaioken on top of Super Saiyan Blue, and I assume that you could do the same thing with Ultra Instinct if you're advanced enough with it. One of the most interesting ways a new form gets introduced is by absorbing other characters. This started with Cell and was perfected by Majin Buu. Buu used this a lot. He has his Kai form, he had a Gohan form, even a Piccolo form. All of these forms only raise his power depending on who specifically he absorbs. It's not 100% consistent, but it is one of the more obscure ways transformations have played out. At the end of the Tournament of Power, a new god was born. Toppo of Universe 11 had accepted the role of being Universe 11's God of Destruction. With this, a completely new transformation was uncovered, showing more insight into what actually happens when a new god is inducted. He gets these tribal tattoos and an unlimited supply for Kai energy. It makes you wonder if any of the other gods have this kind of form waiting in the background. This form looked alright and had a nice concept, but was ultimately defeated by Vegeta's Super Saiyan Blue. So it doesn't give you a huge power increase, it doesn't actually make you on the level of a top god of destruction, you'd still have to work at that. This just inducts you officially as being a legitimate god. In the latest story arc of DBS, there have been 0 new forms. It still is an ongoing story, however at the moment, the closest thing to a new form is Vegeta wearing Yardrat clothes. Anyway, that's my take on some of the forms in the series. Let me know what you think. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next Dragon Ball video.